For years, growing pain controlled my life. Every time I went on a run, I was basically flipping a coin, whether it would strain or not, and it made what should be simple tasks like getting out of bed or getting out of a car extremely difficult. And during my 20s, I was also doing MMA, which to be honest was a complete car crash. At the time, it was literally just about finding ways to work around the pain. I would get deep tissue rubs every couple of weeks. I was hopped up on painkillers. I would get cortisone injections and I'd slather my groin in deep heat, which, as we all know, is a risky game in itself. So if you're dealing with groin pain, this might be exactly what you need to hear. Today, I'm going to show you a simple exercise that made me realize that for years, I'd been approaching things the complete wrong way, and the chances are you have been too. And for anyone that's new here, welcome to the channel. My name's Stephen, and I own a small gym in Belfast where I help locals rebuild their bodies and eliminate joint pain using the exact same methods that I used to eliminate my own joint pain. And I just want to make this clear, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physio, I'm just someone that's been on the exact same journey that you're on right now. And I know firsthand how much this can hold you back. My problem was I just went from physio to physio, and they'd usually give me a bit of a rub and some pointless stretches. Sometimes it actually felt like they were just doing enough so that I would feel some benefits, but they were never fixing the problem long term. And for years, I felt like I was on this never-ending cycle of getting injured, resting, rehabbing, and repeating. And then one day, I tried a different physio that my friend had recommended, and the first week, I was actually in for shoulder pain, so I've had a lot of injuries. But the next week, I went back in for my hip pain, and I'll never forget this because I told him the problems that I'd been having, had constant groin strains. At the time, I was actually also playing a bit of football as well. And I said, my groin, it just always feels tight. It's just tight. And he goes, it's not tight, it's weak. And at the time, it didn't really make sense because it didn't register in my head, because it was like, no, it's definitely tight. I can feel the tightness. But then he got me to do this one simple exercise where I put my feet on the wall, lying on my back, put the foam roller between my knees, and he just told me to squeeze the foam roller. And my groins, they fired up in a way that I have literally never felt before. It actually almost felt like they were going into spasm. You see, I thought they were tight, but what I didn't realize was tightness wasn't causing my problems. Tightness was a symptom of my problems. You see, for years, I was carrying imbalances and weaknesses through my body, mostly from playing football from such a young age, which is a very one-sided dominant sport. So I was a goalkeeper. So every time I was taking a goal kick, I was using my right leg. Or every time I was throwing a ball out, I was using my right arm. And those imbalances led to injuries upon injuries. See, I always felt like the answer lied within stretching, because I always felt tight. So when you stretch the tissue, it would make it feel a little bit better for a while. But the problem is, as I mentioned, the tissue was only tight because it was weak. And when you constantly stretch and stretch tissue that is sensitive, yes, you might get a little bit of short-term relief, but over time, you're going to make that tissue even weaker and even more sensitive. The long-term solution for fixing these problems is building strength and tolerance in the areas that you're at your weakest. And this is why this simple foam roller exercise was such a major breakthrough for me. It helped me build a baseline of strength and tolerance in my weakest area, the area that I had struggled with most for years. Now, I'm not going to lie, it certainly wasn't enough on its own, but why it was so important for me was because it pointed me in the right direction. And once I built that baseline of tolerance, and over time I was able to get my strength back and keep progressing. So the next step to that was a knee on bench Copenhagen plank, where I was teaching the adductors to tolerate even more load than from the squeeze. Then from there, I went into a full Copenhagen plank, and eventually I had the strength and tolerance to do a dynamic Copenhagen plank where I was stretching the tissue at the bottom of the rep and driving up using strength and power in the adductors to lift the hips up off the floor. So once I built tolerance back into the tissue, then I was able to start stretching it under load, and I wasn't just fixing the symptoms, I was fixing the problem long term. Because the tissue was strong now, when I was stretching it, the results would be long lasting. This simple exercise gave me the baseline that I needed to start progressing through the Copenhagen planks. And once I mastered the Copenhagen plank, my groin pain went away completely. So in the video that'll be dropping next week, I'm going to take you through the complete Copenhagen progressions. I'm going to show you how to progress safely, and I'm also going to talk about some of the mistakes that I made that almost ruined everything, so that you don't have to. So my challenge to you for the next 7 days is every day I want you to complete 3 sets of 30-second holds on this exercise, and by the end of the week, let me know in the comments if you feel any improvements, if the pain's reduced, if they feel a little bit looser, or if there's anything you're struggling with. And if you want some more free tips dropped into your email inbox every week, there's a link in the description for that.